President, I cannot stand these people that are destroying our country, that are opening our borders, that are weaponizing our federal law enforcement against patriotic Americans who love this nation as we should. We are having a great time at the fair. We love standing with you, but we know that only through force do we make any change in a corrupt town like Washington, D.C. And so to all my friends here in Iowa, when you see them come for this man, know that they are coming for our movement and they are coming for all of us.
That was human tube of hair gel Matt Gaetz, talking to an audience of MAGA voters in Iowa as if they were little tiny children. And yeah, he definitely said the only answer to Washington's political problems was the use of force. It's become surprisingly common to hear Republicans openly talk about using force against so-called enemies of the state, mainly Democrats, but also any Republicans who break from the MAGA fold. I actually did a video about this that you can check out at the link on your screen. In that video, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene openly cheered on a voter who called for the execution of Democrats for their imaginary crimes, you know, as opposed to Republicans and their actual crimes.
Our Constitution has been stomped under the feet.
Yep.
It's written according to the Bible. Like you said, we've got to get prayers for the country. We've got to be, people got to be tried for treason.
And death penalty. Well, I think we're ending on a right note.
And Donald Trump has openly spoken at his rallies about bringing in a new Trump-centered approach to government if he wins next year. That includes turning the Department of Justice into Trump's own anti-Democrat task force. Now Republicans are trying to outdo each other to see who can use the most violence the most often. Take this weird moment from Ron DeSantis. Spent his time at the Iowa State Fair planning out exactly how he's going to bomb Mexico.
They also appreciate my tough stand on the border. We will actually get the job done. And yes, that involves building a wall to stop the invasion. We're going to use force against the Mexican drug cartels. They're basically foreign terrorist organizations. They're killing tens of thousands of Americans every year, and yet people just let it happen. When I'm president, that stops. If they try to break into our country with fentanyl, that'll be the last thing they do. They'll end up stone cold dead.
Someone should really remind Ron that Mexico may have some feelings about American forces lobbing heavy explosives across the border. But let's be honest, Ron DeSantis is going to say just about anything to take the focus off his failing campaign. But Republicans don't just hate Mexicans when they're in Mexico. Check out Lauren Witzke, a true MAGA moron who actually ran for Senate in Delaware in 2020. And she has some pretty wild thoughts about immigrant culture.
Why is America and our government importing people who don't share American values? They aren't Christians. They participate in actually demonic religions. A lot of them, they're into voodoo, they're into Allah, and they are replacing the American people who came here fleeing religious persecution. That's why America was founded. It was a place for Christians who were fleeing persecution so they could practice Christianity freely. That's what America is based on. But now we are being outnumbered by these imported migrants who do not share our values.
These nutcases really believe that our country is being taken over from within and that white people are being erased, as if you could ever erase entitled white people. And people like Matt Gaetz can't wait to separate these rubes from their cash, all while stroking their racial and political hatred along the way. People like Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene don't care if their rhetoric gets someone killed. After all, Gaetz and Greene live in the kinds of gated communities that keep these MAGA voters far away. They don't have to live with the violence they create. Now, I could pad this video out another couple of minutes, but I think the stakes are pretty clear. If Republicans win next year, they'll use all of their power to create a political environment openly hostile to their opponents. They're already well on the way, and they haven't even won yet. Any power Republicans obtain will be used to delegitimize our government and exact vendettas against their enemies. We're already seeing that in the right's insane fixation on Hunter Biden. Now imagine everything we've already seen, but with Trump as president and Rudy Giuliani as his attorney general. Our votes saved us from that nightmare in 2020. They'll have to do it again next year. And if you thought that was nuts, check out this video of Georgia's Marjorie Taylor Greene cheering on a voter who says Democrats should be executed.
Well, I think we're ending on a right note.
Remember to subscribe to my new solo channel, The Third Degree with Max Burns. And as always, leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.